Hello, this is Solink Smash again. Hi. So let's get right down to business. So on December 21st, I believe, the official 100% confirmed Zelda timeline has been released in Hyrule Historia. I have to admit, the first time that I saw there was an official timeline released, I went insane. It was just incredible how Nintendo actually planned to release it. So, obviously, I looked up the timeline, and here is what I saw. So, the basic Zelda chronology works like this. After creation and what I like to call the Demise War, the first game is, not surprisingly, Skyward Sword. After Skyward Sword, there's a bunch of events in between. It's the sealing of the Sacred Realm, the founding of Hyrule Kingdom, and the legend of the Hero of Men, which of course leads into the Minish Cap. After Minish Cap, I presume about a couple decades, centuries later, there is a legend, which I like to call the Four Swords Legend, and basically it's the backstory of Four Swords. And then after that is, of course, Four Swords. Then is Ocarina of Time. And this is where we've been faltering for all these years. Everybody has theorized that there are two timelines coming from Ocarina of Time, the adult and child timeline. Well, now, Nintendo has proven the existence of a third timeline called the Downfall Timeline. It has a couple different names, not really official name yet, but I like to call it the Die Timeline. So, I'll start with the child timeline. Link gets sent back to his own time at the end of Ocarina and tells Zelda about Ganondorf's plan. But this is before Zelda met Link in the first place. So the Hyrule Knights, I guess, caught Ganondorf red-handed, I suppose, and scheduled his execution for a couple years. I don't know why they did it so far away, but they did. So during that period, about a year later, is Majora's Mask, where Link goes into the Lost Woods to look for Navi, that sort of thing. Then Ganondorf's execution, which leads about 100, 200 years later, I think, into Twilight Princess. And after Twilight Princess is Four Swords Adventures, which actually makes kind of a lot of sense because there's really no other place you could put it. It features a whole new Ganondorf than the one in Ocarina and Twilight Princess, though it's like a new reincarnation who has gotten the Trident of Power. Okay, and then we have the adult timeline, where we follow pretty much the way we always thought it would. Great Flood, the Wind Waker, Phantom Hourglass, then you discover the new Hyrule, then Spirit Tracks, and then it ends. So now we have this mysterious third Die timeline. Okay, so in the Die timeline, Link fails to defeat Ganondorf in the final battle against him in Ocarina of Time. So, presumably he kills Zelda, I guess. I don't really remember. Maybe he doesn't. I don't know what happens. But Link dies. So he gets so Ganondorf gets the Triforce of Courage, and like I said, I guess Zelda might die because he also got the Triforce of Wisdom, got the complete Triforce, used the Dark World as and now he was trying to change the Light World into the Dark World too. So the sages and what's left of the Knights of Hyrule go into one big battle and seal him into the Dark World. This, of course, is a Link to the Past's imprisoning war. And then, a couple of generations later, we have a Link to the Past. And then that same Link goes on to feature in Oracle of Seasons, Ages, and after that, Link's Awakening. After that is what is called The Tragedy of Zelda 1, even though it's not really Zelda 1. So, that's the whole thing. That's the Adventure of Link backstory. And then is The Legend of Zelda and Zelda 2, Adventure of Link. Now, problems I have with this timeline. I don't have too many. I actually accept the die timeline, because I've seen a lot of people, especially Ocarina Hero 10, totally dismiss it and think it's absolutely crap. But I think it's reasonably good. It's fine, in my opinion. I mean, how else would you do it? Where else does Ganondorf get the complete Triforce? Besides, I mean, I like the idea. It's very good. It keeps Ocarina of Time as the Imprisoning War while also having it as a separate event, like people have been theorizing. But here are my main problems. The first is Four Swords after the Minish Cap. I know what A.G. Numa said, that Four Swords was the first game in the chronology. It was before Ocarina. But the instruction manual for Four Swords Adventures says that it features the same Link as in Four Swords, and it takes place like several months later, I think it was. So if I were to change anything in this timeline, it would probably be move Four Swords. And probably the Four Swords Legend too. I would move it after Twilight Princess, but before Four Swords Adventures. Then, yes, The Tragedy of Zelda 1. I've always had a problem with this event because this event was pretty much written to explain all of the Zeldas, how there's so many more Zeldas in the series. But yeah, if we put it at the very end, it has no point. It just kind of sucks. But that's where everybody thought it was, and I was always trying to find out a way to put it somewhere else. But it just really doesn't work. I wish Nintendo would come up with a better solution. But I suppose I can live with it. Yeah. One more problem is that the connection between Four Swords Adventures and A Link to the Past is gone. Seeing how they're in completely separate timelines. The best I can do is deduce that Four Swords and A Link to the Past happen at the same time, but in different timelines, which could make sense, but that means the Imprisoning War would have to be like 400 years after, or something like that. Which it is in the manga, but it says several generations in A Link to the Past. So, that's a bit of a problem. Because the Four Swords Adventures was supposed to be the Imprisoning War, or at least part of it. I always thought the Imprisoning War didn't really exist, and that was really a combination of the Ocarina of Time and Four Swords Adventures legends, which turned out to be false. But like I said, I can live with it. It's not something that completely screws up everything. But besides that, the timeline is very well made. I like the A Link to the Past, then Oracles, then Link's Awakening, because that's the way I always thought it would be, and it made the most sense, because the connection between Link to the Past and Awakening is kept, but also Oracle and Awakening is also kept. And it makes a lot of sense, since their gameplay is pretty similar. Yeah, it's good, and like I said, I don't mind the Minish Cap before Ocarina. It makes some sense, I guess. In fact, I just stopped believing that the Minish Cap was before Ocarina of Time to finish up my old timeline, which I didn't make a video for, but I'll post it on here just so you can see it. As you can see, it's got a split back timeline with the oracles eventually combining. Because really, I could not find another solution for that. And I guess yeah, that's it. So, I like this new timeline. It's good. It has some problems, but it's pretty much impossible to make a Zelda timeline without any sort of contradictions or problems at all. So, that's it for now. This is Sonic Smash signing off, and I'll see you later.